Yeah, Prophet Marcello Currents. So this video is gonna be about what must happen, what has to happen for there to be victory in this situation. What has to happen? What has to happen, unfortunately, is the collapse of America, the collapse of the systems. I mean, because they thought it would be a cute game to just see how far this can go, how many people they can add to this situation, how many people they can add, how many people they can add, how many people they can add. They wanted to see how many people they can add to the situation. I mean, that's how we're looking at it. They wanted to see how many people they could add to this situation. So then they added a whole bunch of community to the situation. So guess what we have to do? The whole system has to be collapsed. Now you see where the work at, don't you? Now you see where the work at, don't you? Yeah. The whole system got to be collapsed. You should have knew that was coming. I mean, think about it. You think we're going to fight every single person? No, we're not going to do that. But they thought it would be a cute idea that we would. They thought it would be a cute idea that we got to fight all these people. So guess what we going to do? Well, do what we got to do. The system going to be collapsed. That's what's going to happen. The whole system. That's what's going to happen. It's got to happen. The whole system. That's how far it went. I mean, I don't see how people didn't realize that was coming. The whole system got to be collapsed. Because now it's more about God's kingdom. That's what it's about. It's about God's kingdom, man. That's what it's about. It's not about us. It's about God getting his respect. You should have knew that was coming, man. I mean, especially when you went past, let's say they doubt us, right? They might doubt us. But you can't doubt all these Christians. All of them. All of them fake. So you gonna hit the real eventually. You gonna hit something real. You gonna hit a live wire eventually. You gonna hit a gas line eventually, brother. You gonna hit a gas line. That's what happens. You're a gas line. I'm a gas line. Why don't hit a gas line, bro? That's what it is. See, my mom taught me when I was young, I don't play with spiritual people. No. Spiritual people. Not religious people. Spiritual. Spiritual people. No, you can't play with spiritual people. There's consequences when you play with spiritual people, man. It's always consequences. It's consequences. I mean, when you really look at this for what it is, it's just, I can't stress it enough. It's so simple for what it is and what the basis is, man. It's very simple. We got played with, we got violated, and God doing something about it. That's it. But it's just common sense, man, that we just gotta collapse the whole system. See, what people realize with me particularly, I can only speak for me, is that they realize they played with the wrong person. Now, they might not come to that conclusion with you, but eventually they will if you fight spiritual warfare. Because, see, the only thing I see people missing, and I can't stress this enough, everybody got the prayer down pat, they got the fasting down pat, but the offerings, that's what they not doing. That's what many of you as warriors, I've studied many spiritual warriors, and I'm not saying you're not a spiritual warrior, but the thing that you lack is giving the offering. That's what you lack. When you start giving the offering, man, you're going to see in your personal life spiritual warfare to defend you like never before, man. Like never before. It's the hardest message to get out there to the crowd and to the people as a collective community for us to minister to people. The YouTubers, I'm talking about the YouTubers. I mean, I just consider most of the non-denominational church just left in the past. They traditional. I already covered that. That's that traditional religion. Ow! We ain't talking about that. We talking about this real spiritual warfare that's popping off right now. You know what I'm talking about? You know, we talking about $73,000 down there in Colombia, South America. That's what we talking about. See, I put $73,000 down there yesterday because my family, somebody hit me up, you know what I'm saying, and I already told them we got more than one source. They can know everything we doing. They can know everything we doing. Just in case you think I'm talking too much, I don't care about that, because I rather a couple people, even if it's one more person, to get this message. I don't need thousands and thousands. I just need one more person to get this message and understand what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? We got to give offerings, hundreds of dollars, preferably outside the country, preferably South America, preferably Colombia, because you're going to get the value exchange in Colombia is higher than anywhere else. I mean, you know, most places. $1 is $3,000. You do the math. You saying $1. I'm not trying to be funny, but let's just say you did. That's $3,000 down there. You catch my drift, right? Okay. You catch my drift, right? Okay. $1, $3,000. If you sent, let's say in your Cash App, you ain't got nothing but $5. That's $15,000, man. More like $17,000 or $18,000. With the other hundreds, it's hundreds on that too, not just $3,000. There's some extra money on it. That's gonna come out to be about $17,000, $18,000. $5. So we gotta hit it. We gotta hit, like James Brown said, we gotta hit it and quit it. We gotta hit it and quit it. I mean, we just gotta do this real quick and get this stuff done. That's why I shut down all the other ministries I'm giving to. I got two other. I got one other ministry that I'm giving to before I really just settle in and lock and load into this ministry. Colombia, down in Colombia. Cause it ain't no need to be trying to be colorful, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like for me personally, I got a lot of ministries that I'm connected to, a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I could just give randomly here with my feelings, with my emotions, but I gotta go with spiritual warfare strategy, where it's just like $1 down there is like $3,000. Okay, so that means when you send like a $5, $10, you're going to be doing, your money is going to be doing more for God's people. Those are God's people too. It's one body of Christ, right? So you're going to get a bigger harvest down there with God's people down there than up here, because you're doing more. The seed is bigger, and you're doing more. You get it, right? Okay, because it ain't gonna be like, well, God's gonna see that you're doing all this $1,000 down there, $5,000, $10,000, $1,000, but God's gonna give you the harvest based on what you give up here. No, it's gonna be based on, listen, the harvest is gonna be based on when you give out to another country. Your harvest is gonna be based on what the end result is. In this case, where your seed is worth thousands of dollars down there. That's the end result, right? Okay, so then how your harvest ain't gonna be based on the end result? That's 7 hours. Yeah, your harvest gonna be based on the end result. So if the currency exchange between USD and Colombian pesos is $1 USD to $3,000 down there, your harvest is gonna be based on the end result. Your harvest is gonna be based on the end result. That's 7 hours. Yeah, your harvest gonna be based on the end result. So if the currency exchange between USD and Colombian pesos is $1 USD to $3,000 down there, your harvest is gonna be based on the end result. Your harvest is gonna be based on the end result. So if the currency exchange between USD and Colombian pesos is $1 USD to $3,000 down there, your harvest is gonna be based on the end result. just sent $73,000 down there yesterday. $73,000 out of nowhere. And remind you, I got other money going on down there. I got $1 million going down there. $1 million. I made my first $1 million transaction. I've made my first $1 million transaction this year already. It's already starting out as a good, great year. I made my first $1 million transaction. Transaction. I made my first $1 million transaction. So, you know, man, it's on a whole nother level of turn up, man. And I'm trying to tell you, man, you need to get in right here. Even with fasting, don't get me wrong. I'm always thinking about the next time I'm gonna fast. I always line it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do some fasting this weekend. You know, when the snow get on the ground up here in New York. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do some fasting then, because I just sent 73,000. So I want to fast behind that too. But I could have done it today, but I just read it for the snow to get in, starting tomorrow? Well, Sunday. That's why I'm gonna be fasting Sunday. You know, and just getting it done. Just getting it done, man. Just getting it done. You know, so you know, this is the part that everybody's missing in the United States as far as the real spiritual warriors. This is what I noticed. Everybody got their ducks in a row about everything else, but talking about giving offerings to defeat the Freemasons and the gang stalkers and the police. Everybody hitting everything on the head. This is the only thing I don't see. This is the only thing I criticize, is that they not talking about the offerings. Like, you gotta, that part matters too. You wanna use all your weapons. That's my point of view. You wanna use all your weapons. Okay? Which means, you know, you gotta give these offerings. You gotta give these offerings, man. I'm telling you, that's what you gotta do. And that's where you're gonna get the breakthrough. See, this went beyond Freemasons and secret societies. They know it's out of control. They mad, they suicidal about all that they cause, you know. But we gotta be the ones to clean up this mess. You know what I'm saying? That because it's against us, it's people still against us. So we the ones gotta keep going. You know what I'm saying? We the ones that gotta keep fighting and doing stuff and gotta handle this foolishness. So, you know, being that it's a whole community nationwide, I want you to look at it as outside of yourself and what you're going through. It's a whole country of this foolishness. That's how you need to hear it. It's a whole country full of foolishness, right? So then, how we gonna defeat all of this? And at first, I didn't know, because you could think almost in terms of God is gonna just zap all of them and it's gonna be over, and that's what they want. They want to be, you know, they want the war to come against just them and spare the Americans. But see, here's the problem. It wasn't just the secret societies that was involved in this gang stalking. They used the community. The community was against us too. Okay, so then, of course, the community gonna be mad at the gang stalkers or the secret societies, but I'm looking at the whole situation. I mean, in other words, I want revenge to come on everybody who had their part in it, man. And guess what? That's not just secret societies. That's the common denominator is there are Americans. It's the Americans, the goofy Americans that played with us. That's who did it. And ain't no other way to look at it. So with that being said, how we gonna get revenge on all these people? We got to collapse. God's kingdom has to collapse. God is going to collapse the systems. because these people are nothing without the system. The secret societies rely on the system. If this system is collapsed, I didn't get it. God had to show me. I had to keep fasting. I had to keep going. And God showed me that the system has to be collapsed. That's how it's going to work. The system has to be collapsed. And that's what's going to do it. The system being collapsed is what's going to do it. That's the only way. Think about it. If you knock off the place where you live at, and you knock off a city, you still got, even a city, you still got a whole world out there, a whole community out there, a whole country of this foolishness in all these different cities, especially the ones you done been in. Okay, so at least they've covered the multiple couple cities you done been in. If you're a high target, right? They at least got them cities, which for me is LA, San Francisco, Tampa, and Charlotte in New York. That's 5. I know they covered, right? Okay, so that's 5 other cities. How we gonna beat that? For me, that's 5 solid cities. San Francisco, LA. You might as well throw Seattle in there. That's 3 on the West Coast. San Francisco, LA, Seattle, Tampa, Charlotte, and New York. That's 6 cities, right? Yeah. Okay, so even if I beat this building, I beat this city, then what? It's still people out there. You know what I mean? And so then in your city, let's just say you was in Cincinnati, they following you through Cincinnati. Let's just say you got family down in Dallas, Texas. Okay, so you in between Dallas and Cincinnati. And let's just say Vegas. Let's throw Vegas in there. So you in between Vegas, Cincinnati, Dallas, and San Antonio. Let's say you got one more city in Texas. San Antonio, Dallas, Vegas, and Cincinnati. And let's just throw Phoenix. Let's throw Phoenix in there. So all of the places they got covered. You know what I mean? They got that covered. Which means they networking over there right now. They're spreading like a bacteria over there right now. Okay. Okay, so how you gonna beat all of that? Technically, literally. And mind you, they using the public in those cities too, not just the organization. They gonna use all the merchants. They gonna use all the people at the stores. They gonna use all the people at the grocery stores. Everywhere. They gonna use everybody. How you gonna beat all of that? Manually. God showed me that the systems have to be collapsed. That's the way to do it. That's the only way, because how you gonna fight everybody manually? You ain't gonna be out here like some dirty bum fighting everybody come down the street. And now you just a dirty bum just fighting everybody. You get the image I'm painting. Like you just getting dirty out there, getting whizzed by taxis and everybody. You fighting everybody. Like a dirty little bum. No. We ain't doing that. Guess what we gonna do? Guess what we gonna do? The systems have to be collapsed. That's what has to happen. That has to happen. Once the systems is collapsed, then, I mean, we good. What you got to come to terms with is that this basically is the end, man. The bad part is, whatever plans we have for the future to get married again, that's the main thing gonna be on your mind. Getting married again, seeing your family again, interacting with your family again, all that stuff. You travel like me, that's one of the main things you're gonna think about is getting back with your family again. Your mom, particularly your dad, if they're still alive, your immediate family. That's what's gonna be on your mind. That might not happen at this point. This is how serious we are about this, man. Where we don't take L's, but we we're not going to be able to do some of the things we wanted to do before this happened. Or at this point, you know. You might have, along the way, even with this going on, you might have thought to do certain things, get back with your family, have a family, get you another woman, get married again, maybe even have a couple kids, raise some kids. But with this woman that you love, but looking at it for what it is, I don't know if that's going to happen. Okay? And that's how you know who's serious, because you even put your plans off. You things that you really, really want to do. Get back with your family, see your family again, see your parents, see your mom, your dad, build a family, get a wife, fall in love again, have them good days with your companion. We got to put all of that off. And this has got to be primary. This has got to be what we focused on, man. This is how serious it is, man. People won't think it's that serious, but that's for people that ain't really never lived life. This ain't living life for me. This is war. This is not life. I live better than this. I had my own apartments. What people don't know about me, I didn't get my first apartment through no program. I paid for my first apartment down in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Living with my wife. I had 2 apartments. I got my first apartment when I was, what was I? 24? Going into 25. Yep. 24 going into 25. I was 24 when I got my first apartment. So I was 24 years old when I got my first apartment. 25 when I got my second. And I had a nice, decent, standard apartment. Carpet, oven, not a stovetop, oven. Slide door for my balcony, had a balcony. God bless me, man. Working, had a job, car, driving a car. I drive. I'm no disrespect to people that might be a little slow, but I can drive. I can function in the real world. You know what I'm saying? If you don't say that and you live a certain way, how we living right now with this war going on, people would think that you can't function, like you're not a normal person. But then we can drive cars. We can do normal stuff. A lot of people can't. And those who can't, I'm just being honest, I can't let them judge me and say certain things about me. But you can't even drive a car. You can't even drive a car, man. I don't let people put their mouth on me like that. I'm just saying, because you're not in position to do that. So this I already had a lot of things that I'm trying to obtain again. Even being married, having a kid, I've already had. My son is 18 years old. I have an 18-year-old son. So that's why I don't allow myself to be treated like a boy. But see, in this country, if you're not careful, if you're black, they'll treat you like a boy. Real easy, buddy. Real easy. And you gotta stand up for your manhood, and if people take that as a threat or you being gangster, however they take it. Like I like to say, listen, first and foremost, it's about me being a man first. Something maybe you wouldn't understand. I'm gonna defend myself as a man first before any street theatrics come into play. See, that's how you know who has real manhood. They're gonna talk in terms of their manhood. And that's that. Some people lost it, some people never had it. You know, me, I have it. And so, based on that, I'm going to do things based on my manhood first. You're going to hear me talk like a man first before I ever even get ignorant. Before you even see me ever get ignorant, you're going to hear me talk in terms of being a man in the face of these police, in the face of these black folks, in the face of anybody in America. You're going to hear me in terms of being a man. And that's how everybody going to respect me and not respect you. Because when you look at things in terms of being a man or a boy, they're going to be on my side. That's just it. All this stuff being done is the only children going to be, of those who think like them, is going to be interested in this stuff. No grown man ain't going to be interested in this. No, man, it ain't nothing to be interested in. Now they gonna be interested in me because I talk for real grown men. You know what I'm saying? I talk for a grown man without theatrics. See, I win my wars without theatrics. I win my wars. What I prove to these people is that I win wars, just like you try to do. I do that the opposite of you. I talk, I speak, I can tell you everything, and it still happen. They in secret. They ain't gonna ever say what they doing. I can tell you everything I'm doing. See how we the opposite. I tell them everything I'm doing. I just sent $73,000 down to Colombia yesterday. It's the weekend. They gonna get that money today. They gonna get that money today, buddy. It's Friday. They gonna get that money today. $73,000, just like that. And listen, this is the calm before the storm. Once again, $73,000 representing my warfare. It's coming. Watch what happened to Trump and watch all the stuff that happened. See, that's where we at. See, yeah, let me say this. If you don't get anything as a person that's been a targeted individual, as they say, TIs and all of that, like, we are, you gotta understand this. This war is beyond the petty. We not focused on the petty part no more. We're focused on these higher levels of war. What you need to focus on is war in the Middle East, Europe, and Trump. Because Trump is cursed. Okay? Trump is cursed. Trump is cursed to make bad decisions. Okay? Trump is going to be making all kind of bad decisions. And that's what we going with. That's what we focused on. In other words, that's where our mind is at, and that's what we focused on, man. We not focused on nothing else. Right? We not focused on, we focused on Trump. Right? We focused on him making bad decisions. He's cursed. That's why so as a servant of God, don't get focused on all these little wars, all this little stuff. That's been going on for years. You've been through this last year and everything. We're not pulling them into 2026. We're not pulling them into 2026, man. Yeah, we're going to talk through it. We hear them talking. Listen, even while making the videos, they talking out there, man, come on. That's weak level politics. I can hear that a mile away. That's what a person with my credibility, I ain't going to hear the chatter. I ain't going to know what that is. That ain't nothing to me, man. I don't care about it. It don't mean nothing. And that's my point. Like, this stuff out here, just talking and yapping, we don't care nothing about that. We are focused on Trump. That's where we at. When we fast, we're fasting in spiritual warfare against these people that's with him. We fasting against Trump. We fasting against his administration. We're doing prayer. We're praying against his administration. We're using spiritual weapons. They can't lock us up for using spiritual weapons. We're using spiritual weapons against Trump because, see, it's a lot easier to defeat Trump in spiritual warfare instead of fighting all these people to collapse the community. If Trump falls off, the whole community gonna collapse because it's gonna be a civil war because white people, these crazy racist white people gonna go crazy. And all the country gonna go crazy. So I hate to say it, man, in the jungle, man, how I put this, man, it's just sometimes it's just easier for certain individuals to fall. You know what I'm saying? It's just easier that way. It's just easier. You know what I'm saying? It's just easier because if something happened to me and you, that ain't gonna do nothing to the country. I mean, it might be certain people that certain culture people that might feel some type of way about that happening to you, and they might uprise a little bit, but it ain't gonna be no further than like, it ain't gonna be no more than like a protest or some little stuff like that. It might last for a little while, fizzle out, just like when other people die in this country. But if Trump fall off, that's gonna change the whole country. That's gonna collapse everything, and then you ain't gonna have nobody to replace him if he fall off. You know what I'm saying? So it's just easier. And the jungle is cruel. The jungle is very cruel, and I hate to. I'm not saying you become cruel, but you become one with the jungle, and you realize it just would be a lot easier. You know what I mean? To just get this whole country just collapsed. It'll just be a lot easier, man, if Trump fell off and it just caused chaos. You see what I'm saying? You get my drift, right? It'll be a lot easier. So we asking God. We doing it God's way. I don't incite violence against this person. I don't ask nobody to go hurt this person. I'm not asking anybody to do that. I'm not asking anybody to hurt anybody physically because we're on the road. I mean, why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, why would I? We doing too good spiritually to care about it going out here. If you doubt me and you think I would do stuff underhandedly, well, you must not know how effective I am spiritually. Imagine me going out here physically when I'm doing so good spiritually. It wouldn't even make sense. You see what I'm saying? Imagine me out there somewhere. Like, what would I do? What would I do? We just doing too good spiritually. So everything is pertaining to spirituality, and it would just be easier, for Trump to just be cursed to avail and the whole country just fall off. Because after that, it's going to be chaos. It's going to be chaos in the streets. It's going to be, especially if it's done a certain way, it's going to be chaos in the streets. It's going to be all kind of hell break loose. Him falling off will change the whole country. You falling off or I falling off ain't going to change the whole country. No, it's not. So see how it would be easier if this one person. It's all it is, just one person. And see, that's how the jungle going to look at it, man. I hate to say it. We lions, man. It's our nature. It's my nature. We lions. And it would be a lot easier to sidestep all these Freemasons, to sidestep all these secret societies. A lion is going to find another way. It will be a lot more easier for that person to fall off and then everything just collapse all together. It'll be a lot more easier. And I guarantee you it's going to be a lot of chaos. Plenty. A bundle. It's going to be a bundle of chaos. Not a bundle of joy. It's going to be a bundle of chaos. Not a bundle of joy. It's going to be a bundle of chaos. So, that's what I'm fasting for. That's what I'm giving offerings for. And if you don't know, Trump is aware of the gang stalking anyway. He's aware of it. Oh, he is. He's aware of it. In fact, if you don't know, Trump has been aware of the gang stalking since his first term. They didn't think I know. Trump knew about gang stalking the first term. I watch. I pay attention. I pay attention in class, buddy. I pay attention in class. Like your kids ain't paying attention in class right now. They're at school right now. They're 7 hours. I pay attention in class. Trump was knew about the gang stalking his first term. He thought we would be gone by now. That's how his attitude is. He thought we would be gone, but we not. He thought I would be gone, but I'm not. All we got to do is keep our appointments. You know, all the gang stalking going on, just keep your appointments. That's all you got to do. Point A to point B to your appointments. You already know that these clowns going to use gang stalkers. Just ignore it. Just stay in your own little bubble, in your own little world. Go to these doctor appointments. Go to do money orders, whatever you got to do. Run errands. Just stay in a bubble. You already know it's nothing new. You know, that's the beautiful part is you've wrapped your mind around all of this. You're used to it. Just go do what you got to do. Come back home. Because being back in wherever you live is in the trenches. You're in the trenches. That's the trenches. So you look at this as your fort, your trenches. Not like a little kid. You getting results, right? We getting results. So they can play us. They can play themselves like we little kids, you know, but people dying out there and stuff is popping off. These storms ain't none of this stuff normal. Even that snowstorm ain't nothing normal. It's all spiritual. Most of it is. That storm probably is spiritual. Okay? So, you know, we're just focused on Trump, these wars, because that's ultimately going to take care of everybody else. Okay? It's just the jungle. It's just how it is. You know, it's just a lot easier this way. Instead of having to fight all these different weirdos and all these different places and nooks and crannies, you know what I'm saying, and all these roaches, you know, I don't even know them. They're not significant people. They don't do anything significant. I don't feel no need to fight them. I feel like I already outrank them. See, a fight is all about who's most competent. I feel like you already know that. I feel like you already know I'm more competent than these people. Based on the fact that there's child marriage in the country and they didn't even know about it. We don't let them recover from that. These are the same bozos, the Freemasons and the secret societies, these Illuminati members. These are the same bozos that was calling us pedophiles, but they marrying children in America. So that already proves that I'm more competent than they are. Right? We don't have to have a contest to see. That's how they put it to the community, that they needed to have a contest to see. You already see, y'all marrying children, you didn't know about it, I'm more competent. Okay? It's just that the black man, just like we always know, he got to prove his competency twice as hard than the white man and his counterparts. Well, this situation is no different. I had to fight twice as hard after you knew your country was marrying children. The white man tell you you're marrying children, you sit down somewhere. You sit down somewhere if the white man tell you you're marrying children. Oh, you know, what Master say we marrying children. Master say we marrying children, we gotta sit down somewhere. Master say we marrying children. Trump say we marrying children. If Trump told y'all was marrying children, y'all would have been sat down. You work for Big Daddy Trump, don't you? That sounds like a slave owner name, don't it? Daddy Trump. Like Django, right? Remember Django? The movie. Trump would be Daddy Trump, wouldn't he? Daddy Trump. I just work for Daddy Trump. chaos working for Daddy Trump. Look, man, it'll be a lot easier this way. What I want you to realize as a real spiritual warfare tactician, with everybody hating Trump already anyway. I mean, look at all the stuff that he's doing. Look at all the stuff. It just would be a lot easier, man, if he fall off. Because look at all that would happen. You're gonna have chaos in the streets. You're gonna have all this foolishness going on. You're gonna have white people going crazy, and the government is not gonna recover from to put another leader in there. What J.D. Vance, call him Vance. Vance, and he gonna do something. Man, come on, stop playing. He ain't said nothing worthwhile. Have he said anything worthwhile to you? They will rely on Vance. Vance would be the president, if he fell off in any kind of way. It might be health. His health might fall. After all, he's almost 80 years old. He's almost 80 years old, right? So, anything could happen. And it would just be a lot easier this way. Because, everything would just move into chaos. It would just be chaos. If his health failed, if, something like that happened, some medical emergency, out the blue, it would just be so much better, easier than dealing with all these slaves. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with all these slaves that we know is subject to this same person, is subject to this same government, and you scared of these same people. It would just be a lot easier, because once that happens, the slaves gonna disperse. Once the master is gone, the slaves gonna disperse. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. It's gonna be chaos. And in that chaos, we gonna be able to be focused and do what we gotta do. They ain't gonna have focus. They think they gonna still be able to focus. They not. That's in the movie. In a movie, you'll be able to still focus through this chaos will be so thick. All you're gonna be trying to do is make sure you're good as an individual. I promise you that. You're gonna be too preoccupied with your own situation, in other words. See, it would be a lot more easier than going back and forth with these ignorant people for another 5 or 3 years or 2 years or whatever. It would just be a lot easier. That's what I'm trying to show you, so that you can switch your mind around and stop praying for these people. Like I said, we're not talking about doing anything physically to Donald Trump. We're not talking about inciting riots or asking someone low key to do something to him. Now, because we're doing everything spiritually. I'm a spiritual person, and I believe that spirituality is most effective anyway. I proved that it's more effective anyway. So it would just be a lot more easier, to let God handle this person. I'm gonna put it like that. To let God handle Trump would just be a lot more easier, man, than dealing with all these clowns out here in the streets, and dealing with all these clowns out here that think they're whatever they think they are. But, we face higher adversaries. We face tougher adversaries than you. On a year-to-year basis, I face more tougher adversaries. So, what's a nice way to tell you that I've met 1 million people like you with the same psychological, psychic ability, telepathic ability, putting that weak pressure on people? How can I tell you that you're a dime a dozen? What's a nice way to tell you that you're a dime a dozen? They are. They are. The same stuff that went on in Brooklyn, this is what I'm going through. I've been through this a million times. That's why I broke it. I knew what to do. Now look at this country. I've been here three months, and now look at the difference. I knew, I knew what position I have to play. I've been through this before. I know what to do. I know how to get in the trenches, lock it down, and get to work. Which means I don't need your opinion. I don't care about your opinion. I'm too much of a made man. I know what I'm doing. So imagine you coming into what I'm actually doing, right? Effectively, right? Competently. And for you to put some type of a wayward opinion on me when I'm competent and I'm getting the job done. On my own, too. Let's add that part. Your opinion is not needed. And that's that. Like I said, it just would be a lot easier, man. That's what I'm focused on. You know what I'm saying? I'm up to let God handle these people. They got the South American president up here, Greenland, all this other stuff going on. Border peace down in the Middle East and all this stuff, man. And people are not looking at it the way that it's intended to be looked at. It's not being looked at that way. I never said I was going to help America do anything. America thought that they could utilize me like a little, a wild horse or something. I didn't say I was going to help America. I didn't say I was going to help them do something in their life. I didn't tell them I was going to help them. No. I didn't tell them. So if you played yourself, that if you thought I was going to do something for you, for what? If you was under that impression, it's because you in your arrogance, you decided to think that way. You decided to think that way, not me. I ain't tell you I was gonna do something for you. That's one thing. If you notice, I did not tell America that I was gonna do anything for them. I ain't tell them that. Okay, so if you under the impression that I was gonna do something for you, that's because in your arrogance you thought you assumed that I would do. I would be, you'll be able to manipulate me and make me do what you want me to do, and I will eventually break to your will and bend to your will, and that's not going to happen. I'm too strong for that. I'm a made man. That means before I even came here, I was a made man. Okay, I'm not a little boy. I know that's what they'll always think about a black dude. That's why I got through the cracks. They don't esteem us as grown men, competent grown men, and then I'll take full advantage of it like a soldier. A soldier lets you think whatever you want to think because you self-deceive yourself. Okay, so if you put your little rinky-dink opinion on me and that's what you choose to believe, great for me, because you ain't making me feel bad by it. You self-deceiving yourself. Well, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to deceive you. I don't have to have camouflage. You did everything. Thank you. I say it like a Southern waitress. Thank you. You say it like a Southern waitress. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know how a Southern waitress at a restaurant. Thank you. Hey man, thank you. Because listen, you sit up and you self-deceive yourself. And I ain't gotta do nothing. See, that's how you know I'm not actively thugging, You know how you know? Because I don't care what you think. A thug will care what you think. A thug is gonna go make sure he is felt, by people. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do what a soldier do. A soldier gonna let you think whatever you want to think. And if you stupid enough to think something that's not true about me, guess what? I'm gonna let you think that. You just programmed yourself to think something that's not true. And guess what? I'm gonna be a whole different person over here. In every sense of the dynamic, I'm gonna be a whole different person over here. While you was thinking all this other stuff, and I'm gonna take full advantage of it. That's how I've worked this whole time. I'm gonna let you whatever you want. You think I'm retarded? You think I'm crazy? Whatever it is, whatever it is, whatever it is, do it till you're satisfied. Whatever it is, go ahead and do it till you're satisfied. Whatever it is. Too much funk for him, ain't it? That's why they gotta hate on it. Listen, man, I'm from North Carolina, man. Listen, so much funk you can't stand it, bro. Too much funk for you. I'm baptized in the funk, buddy. You know what I mean? I'm submerged in the funk. But we gotta turn over a new leaf, man, and let the funk manifest in a different way. See, this warfare is funk. You know what I mean? It's the essence of blackness. You understand? And if you fight the essence of blackness, you shall be defeated by the funk yourself. Whatever it is. You thought you could see me? No, that's impossible. That's absolutely impossible. You can't see me. It's too much funk for you. It's too much funk. Do it till you're satisfied, whatever it is. Hey, man, look, man, let me tell you something, man. You gotta let these suckers be suckers. You know what I mean? This year, we are not responding to foolishness. We ain't responding to it. Let them think that. Let them think whatever it is, let them think it. Let them think whatever it is, because we're going to take full advantage of that. We're going to take full advantage of it. Which they're going to be in a whole different world from us, and we're going to be in a whole different world from them. They're going to be over there thinking like this whole different stuff. And you got to be disciplined enough to be a soldier, not a thug. A thug is going to go out there and try to let his nuts hang, you know what I'm saying? And let these people know what time it is, you know what I'm saying? But you're going to get way further as a soldier. A soldier, oh, they thinking crazy. They thinking something that ain't real. Oh, let them, oh, great, because I don't got to go out there and deceive. I ain't got to put on no show. Every time you see me, you done already pre-assumed you know what. Thank you. That's perfect. See, that's how you know who got the mentality of a soldier. Because a soldier going to let you think all that stuff. Whatever you want to think, go ahead. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. Whatever it is, buddy. Go ahead and do it. Do it till you're satisfied. You can think whatever you want to think. Guess what? You wind up finding out the hard way it ain't a game. Not at all. Not by a long shot. That's how you play your hand, man. You let them think. Listen, no matter what game you was ever playing, even if you play spades, oh, I mean, to a certain degree, they gonna know how many books you got, but keep a poker face. You know what I'm saying? Let these suckers think whatever they want to think, say whatever they want to, play all the games they want to play, and you outrank all of that before they even started it. You outrank all of that, and it don't even matter what they even talking about. I mean, come on. I just sent $73,000 down to Colombia, South America. You think I'm worried about what a bum out there saying? And I don't care if they got a job, they still bums. Oh, you thought because you had a job, you wasn't a bum. You still a bum. A bum, in my definition, is your lack of character and integrity and honor and morality. You still a bum to me. Some will say Donald Trump is a bum. So I mean, with that being said, many of you are bums. I don't care what you think about me. I know you're a bum. Females, bums. Bums. What, because you're a female, you ain't a bum. Put on a little cheap little outfit. little fragrance and you ain't a bum. Why? Because you got a little fragrance. Because she got a little fragrance on, she ain't a bum. Come on, stop playing, bro. Smell like a peach, but a bum. smell like vanilla beans, but you a bum. Well, I smell like vanilla beans. This fragrance has vanilla beans in it. It literally has vanilla beans in it. This is vanilla beans fragrance. This is vanilla bean perfume. Well, you're a bum with vanilla bean perfume. trying to cover up the bum, ain't you? Hey man, listen. If you act like a bum, I treat you like a bum. You know what I mean? That's that simple. That's that simple. It's that simple. It's that simple. We don't lose. We're not folding. We're not depressed. We don't have no panic attacks, anxiety attacks. No, we're not suicidal. We're not. I'm just being honest. I ain't never been suicidal one day in my life. That's my strong suit. That's why it's trouble for you. Now you get it, don't you? I ain't never been suicidal one day in my life. It's not something I struggle with. Whatever it is. Yeah. Listen, that storm is coming. That storm is on the way. That snow is on the way. Gonna shut down New York. Yeah. Just put another offer. That's real money, you know. $73,000. $73,000. That's $73,000. You can't beat that, but that's too much cheese, man. That's too much cheese. Whatever it is. That's too much cheese, buddy. That's too much cheese. $73,000. Mind you, $1 million on the way too. It's going real good. And we ain't got nothing to do. Listen, the thing about it, I ain't got nothing to do until that money hit. Mind you, I just sent $73,000, so I got money in the air. In other words, we got spiritual warfare on the way. It's just what it is, bro. It's just what it is. And what they doing? Oh, the same old mediocre witchcraft. That same old whack witchcraft. Whatever it is. That's that same weak witchcraft they was doing in 2025. Whatever it is. That same stale witchcraft they was doing in 2024 and 2025. When you know somebody laughing at you, you know you're in trouble, buddy. You should. You should know. You should know you're in trouble if I'm laughing at you. If I'm laughing at you, you should know you're in trouble. All I ask for is my money. You know what I'm saying? Anything other than that, you must want to know me personally. I'm not interested in knowing anybody personally. You know, so nothing else makes sense to me. If that makes sense. You know, I just want my money. That's it. Other than that, I don't want to know anybody personally right now. I'm being honest. At least I'm being honest, so you can know where I'm coming from. I don't want to know nobody personally, especially considering the circumstances of all the things I've been through with all the gang stalking, the Freemasons, secret society, playing in my politics. I don't want to know anybody personally right now. Not from America. Not from this country. Keep in mind, I'm with the Russians as well. Yeah, it's not illegal to be with the Russians. There's Russians that live in America right now. It's Russians that live in New York right now. Right down here on East 15th, East 16th. That's a Russian community. Whatever it is. I'm with the Russians, man. Because they never hated a black man. They don't do things like the Americans do things. They don't hate a black man. They never hated me. They never, they don't marry children in Russia. They marry children over here. You see the funk that we in, man? You see this situation? Look at, they marry children over here. Russia don't marry no children. China doesn't marry children. But America does. They marry little children over here. They probably marrying little Russian children and little Chinese children. They probably are. Whatever it is. They probably marrying little Chinese children over here in America. They got child marriage laws. They probably marry little Russian children too. We're not afraid of them. This is God's kingdom. Everybody else is scared of them. The whole world is scared of America except us. Because see, it comes a place and point in time where God's people have to be above everybody else, and that time is now. Yeah, you get it, don't you? As the world ends, God's people, you thought we was going to go out pitiful, and you're not looking at it like you need to look at it. God's people is going to be on top at the end of the world, like it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. So it's easier to collapse the systems of this country through spiritual warfare, seeking God and seeking the Lord, than just playing these games from year to year, these same mediocre games, these mundane, trivial games. These haphazard games, it comes a time where, we have to stop playing games. Let them think whatever they want to think. Go ahead and think that. Go ahead. Whatever it is. You think we pedophiles? Okay, go ahead and think that. I could care less, honestly. Whatever it is. You can think whatever you want to think, buddy. See, that's the next level. Let them say whatever. They think you're a sexual deviant? Okay. It ain't stopping me. It ain't gonna do nothing to me. That's why, see, that's how you know who innocent. I'm laughing at you, buddy. Go ahead. You can think we're a sexual deviant. Go ahead, buddy. Whatever it is, yeah. It's just easier this way, man. That's why, man, that's what we looking for, man, the collapse in America, man. Just keep that in mind.